This is Viterbi Voices, your chance to hear stories about research, classes, student life, and more.
Directly from our students, faculty, and other members of our engineering community. All right here at the USC Viterbi School of Engineering. Welcome back into Viterbi Voices. This is episode 134, and we're here with Luz today. What's this episode on?
This episode is on the SHPE, the Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers National Convention. So this year, I had the pleasure of going with about 62 other members to Phoenix, Arizona to hang out with more SHPE people and get the lowdown on all things SHPE and also like advance ourselves in our professional and personal lives. So really great.
I think this is a super cool episode too because we've done a lot on different national conferences, so students can see that there are a number of different conferences for different professional organizations that you can be a part of at USC. What do you think makes SHPE special among all of these?
I think just like the size of it. I think we're we get bigger and bigger every year. I think I want to say close to 9,000 people were there this year, and also I guess. SHPE itself is broken up into regions based on what part of the country you're in. So SHPE USC is part of region 2, and there's a lot of region to region solidarity. I think being able to interact with the people that are closest to us, like in proximity, is like super duper cool, and it's really good for like developing those connections, especially right here in the like LA area. So that's really, really fun.
That's awesome. And so you've been to the conference multiple times, right?
This is my second time, yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, well, I'm super excited to learn about it. We'll get out of the way so everyone can learn about the SHPE conference. But just a quick note, Luz and I are on winter break, so this is kind of recorded remotely over our laptops, so it might not be the same sound quality, but still a good conversation nonetheless.
First up, senior electrical engineering student Aaron gives us a taste of graduate school and research opportunities at the SHPE National Convention.
I kind of already asked you this because you just took a final like an hour and a half ago, but how are you doing?
Overall, pretty good. Final season is always really stressful,
Yeah.
but pretty good. I'm happy to go on winter break, but I'll miss being here. I love it here. I love being here.
The weather's been pretty nice, even though
It
it's
has
like
been
a
really
little
nice.
nippy.
Yes, but it's kind of nice because it was hot for so long.
Yeah.
It was like hot all through October, like still in the 90s.
And you're like, why is it 90 degrees? Why am I on fire?
Yeah, so I'm like, oh my gosh, I can kind of start wearing sweaters now. And so it's been nice. I'm doing pretty good. Like post finals, like I'm now officially a second semester senior.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So it's exciting. One step closer to graduation.
One step closer to graduation. The people still haven't heard what you're about out here. So
yes.
Let me introduce yourself
Okay.
to the kids, to
Awesome.
the folks.
Sounds good. My name is Erin Gallegos. I'm a senior studying electrical engineering, and I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico. I'm a second semester senior. I just applied to graduate school, so hopefully that's what's next in store for me.
Are you done with all your apps?
I am. I turned the last one in yesterday.
Ooh, exciting.
So just finished all of those. So we'll see what happens there. And then, on campus, I'm involved in on-campus research, and I'm also super involved in the Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers, which we call SHPE, which Luz is part of too.
I'm also
We're on
there.
eBoard together. I'm president.
You say super. Yeah, I was about to say like super duper involved. You're like,
Yes.
you're like I'm the power mom of the organization. I make sure that everyone has snacks and then everyone's doing well on their finals.
No, Luz makes sure everyone has food at our meetings.
Yeah.
She's the VP of membership. But I'm president this year, and I love the org. I mean, it's been everything to me since freshman year. So, it's kind of exciting to be leading it now and getting to see it from a different perspective. So that's been really fun.
Yeah, you've started from the bottom, like legit.
I did. I was just like a little super shy freshman.
Yeah.
I came into the first meeting and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know anyone. And it was so welcoming. Like, everyone says it's a familia, and it is. It's my on-campus family. Like, I love everyone in it. It's just...
I stand.
It's such a great organization.
Yeah, well, we've been in the thick of it for a pretty long time now, I would say.
Yeah.
But for a lot of people listening to our podcast, especially for the first time, might not be familiar with what SHPE as an organization is. So could you maybe tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. So like I said, SHPE stands for Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers. If you're from the East Coast, you might hear it pronounced SHPE. I don't think that's right.
I don't think that's right either, but East Coast can have their taste.
Yeah, so it's SHPE, and basically the goal of our organization at USC is to empower Latinx students in STEM and give them opportunities to excel academically, professionally, give back to the community, and find a way to get involved with other Latinx STEM students, particularly within Viterbi. So it's really awesome, and we're part of a national organization that has tons of student chapters at universities all over the country, which means that we have this huge network of students and professionals who are also in this organization. It's really awesome.
Yeah. Dude, you'll run into SHPE people in, random areas.
Yeah.
I was at Google this summer, and, I had a partner, an intern partner on my project, and I'd never met this man before. And we show up on the first day, and I see he's wearing, a SHPE UIUC shirt. And I'm like, we're going to get along just fine. And, we would just hang out all the time, and just, we already knew each other.
It's so good, because you have people with, similar goals, similar values, similar backgrounds. It's so easy to, relate to other people that are going through the same thing, who look like you and have the same background as you. And it's really awesome, because, within USC, we have this community, and we get to work with a lot of the other student orgs, but then also, broader in the regional and national scale, we have this, huge community of people. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah. I mean, we can both attest to it. Yeah.
And when we say national, we, mean, national.
National. Yeah. So, it's huge.
Yeah. So, this past, I would say, it's about a month now.
Yeah. A little over a month.
We gotten to sit in our experiences that we got from SHPE National.
Yes.
Which is a national convention for the SHPE organization as a whole. And student chapters, professional chapters, everybody's out on this thing. It's
everyone's there.
Everybody's there.
I think this year at the convention...
Again, the biggest year, right?
Yeah, and there was 9,000 people there. So, if you can imagine, 9,000 Latinx and other underrepresented minority students and professionals there, all together... one place celebrating success and developing. It was so cool. It's really hard to comprehend 9,000 people, and
dude, I can't even picture 6 people.
I know. So it's just it was huge.
Yeah. It was crazy. And this year was in Phoenix, Arizona, and we've had some pretty cool years. Cleveland. I think the one before that was in Seattle. Next year's gonna be in Colorado. It's gonna be fun.
Or is it in Orlando?
No, Grace Hopper is in Orlando.
Okay. Oh, you're right. You're right. Yeah. The SHPE National is going to Orlando later, but next year's in Colorado.
When are we going to Orlando?
I think after you graduate.
Rip Disney dreams, dude. Oh,
I know.
Okay.
But the nice thing for me is that hopefully I'll get to go again. And you can always go as a professional.
That is also true.
You can always go as professionals. So even after graduation, you could still be part of the org?
Yeah.
Go to national?
Yeah.
Say hi to the little ones?
The little ones. 20-year-old adults. The children. I guess you're totally right. We're going to see it from different perspectives, right? So this year we came as students, right?
Yes.
I knew I was out and about doing a bunch of talks. A big thing about not only the professional development side of SHPE National has been all the talks and seeing professionals in the field of what they're working on be able to show that to a very willing audience is super cool. So that's what I spent the majority of my time doing. I went to some neat ones talking about the Internet of Things and cool. Big data and advancements in wireless and stuff like that. So that was mainly my experience. But I know you had a pretty different experience from mine because this convention is huge and there's a little bit of something for everyone. Right?
Yeah, there really is. There's really something for everybody. And I'm not really looking to go into industry right now. And so I decided to go to a bunch of workshops that focused on graduate school, what a graduate student what it's like to be a graduate student, the different types of graduate school, as well as present in like a research competition. So they have this whole other side of the convention that focuses on graduate school and research, and it's really cool because like engineering is such a broad field and people have such broad interests in it, and like it has all this wonderful professional development stuff for like that you took part of, but it also allowed me, for someone who's maybe not as industry oriented, to still get like a lot out of it.
Yeah, for sure. So like you got to you said you participated in
Maybe I'm too humble.
research competition. You didn't tell the audience that she took like first place at the research competition.
I did. It was
and
really...
walked around with a giant check with her name on it.
It was big. It was like I'm you can just hear my voice, but I'm only 5'1", so I'm really short, and this check was like almost as tall as me. Like it came up to like my chin.
Yeah, I know.
It was huge.
We
it
saw
was so like I could barely carry it, but it was really exciting because I've been working on research for a couple of years, and it was like really validating to have my work be recognized. And it's one of the cool things about the research that I presented this last year is that I actually found out. So the research I presented last year,
feel free to like give some details on the research.
So the research I presented on, I did at a summer research program at the University of Michigan. And the way I found out about that program was through the previous year's SHPE National Convention. I talked to someone and they were like, oh, you should apply to this. Because I've had a couple years of research experience here at USC, which I've loved. But like it's good to explore, kind of see different things. And so I found out about this thing at the last SHPE National Convention. I applied, I ended up going, and then I got to present that research at this year's National Convention. And I ended up getting first place for my presentation on thin film electronic materials. So materials that are on the order of about 10 nanometers thick, and they can conduct and insulate electricity, and hopefully they'll get used in a device that you can like understand brain function better. So it's like really, really cool stuff.
Wait, I went to a very similar talk about this.
I should have gone.
In Grace Hopper, where they were doing neuromorphic computing.
Yeah.
So it was basically like trying to simulate the brain, but like how do we do that in hardware? And like that's going to make it non-deterministic. Is that a good thing? Like,
it's like everything's connected.
The brain is like awesome.
Yeah. So it's really awesome. It's really exciting that I got to work on this like brain-oriented project, because all this like development in understanding of the brain is like happening right now, and getting to work on some of the like electrical engineering material science part of the physical hardware that we can use is like super awesome.
Yeah, no, I've seen it. It's crazy. There's so many labs working on it. It's so cool.
Yeah,
cool.
But it was cool. Like we got to, so I'm not the only person that presented research either. Yeah. So our chapter actually had 3 people that presented research. So we had another undergrad student. She presented her stuff on
Helen, biomed stuff, right?
Yes, she presented biomedical stuff, which was like really cool. Unfortunately, our presentations were right back to back, so I didn't get to go to hers. And then we had a graduate student, Alina, who presented her research on materials. And so it was pretty cool to have like 3 of us get to participate, and 60 of us went this year.
That's a
crazy high number. Like we were there in full force. Like USC was there. USC showed up.
Yeah.
Like there's so many of us. Like we couldn't even all get together to take a group photo because there's so much stuff going on and people have interviews. But yeah, and like the fact that like 3 of us got to present and take part in this other aspect was really cool.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty proud of us for doing some research presentations and getting to do that. Yeah.
That's I wish I was there for it, but alas, I was stuck in the throes of it. But you also saw as like the highest ranking member of our chapter. Like objectively, like one of the highest ranking, like the ones that's closest to like the national level of SHPE. You also saw kind of like what the organization, like the national organization as a whole, kind of like works and what it looks like, and we got to connect a lot with our region. Yeah, and as a chapter, we did some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, we did. Yes, so we're super proud of ourselves. So we won Chapter of the Year for Region 2, which is Southern California, Arizona, Nevada, and Hawaii. We won Chapter of the Year for 2018-2019. So that's like work that we put in last year and over the summer, and everything kind of like came together and we won. We got chapter of the year. We're so proud of it. And I know our e-board has worked really hard over, like, we started working in May. So last May 2019, current e-board. So like me, Luce, and the other 6 people, we like started grinding, and it was nice to see that kind of our efforts over the summer and the efforts of the leadership team last year kind of got recognized, and we got chapter of the year. And it's like this really cute glass thing that gets fingerprints on it, but we just pass it around because it's just, we're so proud of it. Because it's still so
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like we, you know, it's not, we were all in the thick of it as well. Last year we were in our committees, and we were all coming together and helping put on our org, and yeah, it's super validating to be just like, yeah, you guys are pretty cool, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. And so, I mean, it's like recognition of excellence across what basically are the 5 pillars of SHPE. So SHPE is based on, like, as a national organization, and also as our specific student USC organization, we want to promote, like, membership and chapter development, which is what Luce runs.
Ooh, yes.
And, like, makes it really feel like a family.
Come to all my events.
Yes. So she runs all of the meetings. She gets everyone together, all the social things, all the, like, cool, just fun social things we do amongst ourselves. We have community outreach, which is awesome. We reach hundreds and hundreds of kids every single year in the local area. Mm-hmm. And so, like, being good at that. And then professional development, which is how we prepare ourselves for life after college, and as well as internships and working on things like resumes. We have leadership. So we have a huge leadership team. There's like over 20 of us, and we have an e-board of 8, and like that's pretty strong. And then finally, academics. So at the core of this, we're all students, and we want to have academic excellence. So it's nice to get recognized for all those things, because that's so much for one org to do. And it's like all, like, a bunch of orgs focus on specific
like
things.
they're specific, yeah.
Yeah, and that's great. Like, there's nothing, I'm like...
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
like,
no, it's great, and it serves a specific purpose, and it's cool that our org gets to do so much.
Yeah, we cover a lot of ground.
Stuff. Yeah, and then it's like very busy, and we're very busy during the year, especially like in the fall when we're trying to get everything running again, and so it's super exciting that we get recognized for our work in that and got chapter of the year. Like, I don't know, we're super happy about it. We're so proud.
Really sheds a single tear, and then goes straight back to school and does midterms. Don't even get to stew in our victory very long, but it's fine. We have it. We have it, and that's what matters.
Yes.
Yeah. So, SHPE in general, I think we have a pretty big presence on campus, and even the people who haven't heard of us, they think we're great when we actually give them a taste. So, I think if any prospective students out there prospective students who decide to come to USC, please give us a check out. I think we open door policy to like all students.
Everyone.
We have so many different type of people in our chapter. Yeah. Some non-engineers even, like zero requirements for joining the org. So just check us out.
So we say
this is my promo.
Yeah, we say we're an organization to promote Latinx students in STEM and empower them, but it's really for everybody. Like, we always say you don't have to be Latinx or Hispanic or an engineer to join. Like, if you want some community, some fun, like dinners at our meetings, a cool T-shirt,
the free food,
free food, free snacks and coffee every Tuesday
and
night.
The most important thing, friendship.
Yes, friendship. And the SHPE part is SHPE.
Ship.
Don't get it twisted.
Ship
but
part.
It's such a So if you come to USC, join us. And it's like you can be as committed as you want. Like, Luce and I are very, very deeply committed, and we invest a lot of time. But you can also just come when you're available. Like, it's a pretty much as much commitment as you want it to be. It's such a great org, and it's a great way to meet students when you first get here, whenever that is.
Yeah. Well, I think that's our shtick, right?
Yes.
And thank you so much for sharing your experiences in the National Convention.
Thank you for having me. I'm
absolutely.
so honored.
So, yeah, I think you gave everyone a perspective on what our National Convention is like, and like the different type of opportunities there. So I think as a student, I think it can be tough to get away from the classes. We're like, no, I'm going to fall super
Yeah,
behind.
yeah.
But sometimes these experiences are like super duper worth it.
Yeah.
And I think you really embody that.
Yeah.
So
And
thank you.
being in college is more than just going to school.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's awesome.
For sure.
But thank you. I'm happy
Yeah.
to be here.
All right. Thank you, Erin.
Fight on, y'all.
Fight on.
Next, junior aerospace engineering student Patrick gives us a lowdown on all things professional development at SHPE National.
How are you doing, Patrick?
I'm doing well. How are you, Luz?
I hate it when people turn that question on me because I'm like, honestly.
You're like, should I be honest or should I not?
It's not even that. It's just like, honestly, I want to sleep all day.
That's a mood. I still haven't.
Close to end of season. Like, that's basically like end of semester mood, I think, for a lot of people. Like, just let me sleep until next semester.
Honestly. And then you get back next semester and you're like, I still haven't recovered from last semester.
I still haven't actually recovered, so like, can I get an extension?
Exactly. Can I take a semester off? Thanks very much.
Thanks. See you guys later. So, I think this is your first time on Derby Voices podcast, right?
That's correct. This is my first time.
Ooh.
Looking forward to it.
Ooh.
Big celebratory.
Big claps. How about you just go ahead and introduce yourself and like let people know what you're about, what you do on campus and stuff like that.
Sure. So, like Lou said, my name is Patrick. I'm a junior studying aerospace engineering, and I'm currently involved in both academic and some cool extracurriculars as well. I'm a part of SHPE, the Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers, serving as the current Vice President of External Relations. It's been a lot of fun. I've been involved with the club for 3 years now, and I'm really blessed to have the opportunity to actually give back to the club and help us move forward in a way better fashion than we did before I started. On top of that, I'm also serving as an undergraduate researcher in the SPEDing lab, the SPEDing Wind Tunnel Lab, where I've currently just finished up my first project, which lasted a year long, looking at different tailless aircraft configurations and figuring out if it's possible to fly these low-speed, essentially UAV vehicles in a wind tunnel, if we can actually produce a model that'll have an outcome that's positive for future aerospace technologies.
Neat. Plane go fast.
Yes, planes fly fast. They go in the air, and they're pretty cool.
That I can't go in the air. So yeah, that makes them automatically way cooler than I am.
Exactly.
But
Dude, heavy things fly. Isn't
dude,
that crazy?
that's crazy.
That's what I think.
I barely walk from point A to point B. I don't know how
We tend to
people be
stumble at some
flying.
point, right? And then our planes are just like chilling in the air, just
Yeah.
like relaxing.
Yeah, just chilling.
Exactly.
Just vibing.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. It's a lot of fun.
So you and I are both on the leadership team, but our roles are pretty different when it comes to like e-board. So I know I work with events and make sure that a lot of our chapter events tend to run smoothly and everything that we need to have there is there, basically. But
Right.
your role has been a little bit different. So if you want to just go ahead and like speak about your role just a little bit, that'd be cool.
Sure. So my role has been a lot of fun because, like Luz was saying, I get to spend a lot more time talking with companies that want to partner with our organization. And so I'm usually the one on top of sending out emails to different of our company sponsors. First and foremost, my first task is to actually collect and recruit these sponsors over the summer. So we work on creating a cool little sponsorship packet for them, sending out information on what they can expect if they're a partner with us throughout the year. And that includes working on resume review workshops, working on interview preparatory workshops, and then also having the chance to network with all these companies before the career fair, which is really cool for us because that means we get first shot at the jobs, which is always super nice. And it's also a lot of fun because not only do I get to learn a lot about like networking and everything, but I also get to learn how to like lead a committee and teach them this is how you're supposed to act when you're talking to like companies. There's a little bit of professionalism with it, but I mean, once you get past that first barrier of, the first interaction, everything is cool, then you realize they're all people and they're all like super chill. And so you just email them saying, hey, hope your day's going well. They're like, oh yeah, it's been fun here at Microsoft, or it's been fun here at Boeing. And it's really cool because Microsoft just sent us a cool little gift.
I know,
It was super cool. They gave us like chocolates and
we
everything.
have to figure out what we're gonna do with it. Cause
Yeah,
like,
I
half
know.
of the people. I mean, I could take it home, but
I was
like,
like, we can go back home and split it after
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I have it in my room. But yeah, so it's been a lot of fun, especially now throughout the school year. I'm definitely trying to push to get all the companies to come out more often than they did in previous years to really like get a one-on-one almost mentorship with all of our members and hopefully push especially like our younger members to really get out there and start networking early so they can get those jobs.
Hashtag jobs. If you don't get a
Exactly.
job, you personally come to Patrick, and he's like, "I'm so sorry," and he grovels. Like
Exactly. But
yeah.
if you don't get a job, I wasn't here.
Yeah, Patrick was nowhere to be found.
Exactly. MIA. But yeah, so it's been a really good year. And I'm looking forward to the next semester to come.
Yeah, we're not even close to done. We're only halfway through. We hit it halfway
I
through.
know. Yeah.
Yeah. So, aside from our responsibilities on the chapter level, there's also tons of stuff that we can do at the national level for SHPE, because SHPE is the national organization, right?
Right.
And every year we have our giant SHPE National Convention,
Woohoo!
which is huge and always a little bit overwhelming.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Because I don't know how many, Aaron told me a number. It was like 9,000
over
people,
9,000 attendees.
which is always it's over 9,000. Oh my God, that's a meme I haven't
Yeah.
heard in years. And every year it tends to be like, this is the biggest year ever. Like, and then they keep breaking the record every year. So it just keeps getting bigger. We've had some like cool locations like Seattle and Cleveland, and this year Phoenix,
It was so
Arizona.
much fun.
It was pretty fun.
The warmest one we've had in a while.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. I remember having to go to like a Burlington coat factory to go get a coat specific for Cleveland.
For Cleveland.
Yeah.
Oh man, I was
So I
like,
didn't
ripped.
have to do that this time around. But both you and I had pretty different experiences at the conference. I tended to lean a lot towards like the tech talky kind of things. So people just giving talks in their field or area of interests, and it's always super neat. You know, you spent a lot of time with the career fair and doing very similar stuff. So I was hoping to just ask you, like, I would talk to Aaron about like what the graduate side might look like, research side. So maybe I was hoping to get a different perspective to see what you were up to during the SHPE National Convention.
Sure, definitely. So at the SHPE convention, my number one goal, I guess it kind of fits in my role, was to get a job.
Jobs.
To start jobs, number one. So I did focus a lot more on the professional development side. I started off by going to a couple of these networking workshops. One was put on by Raytheon, and another one was put on by Boeing. And essentially, they're just telling you the rundown of the career fair. They say, okay, this is how you should network with other companies. These are some great strategies to make yourself stand out on the resume and in in-person chats. And fortunately, coming into it, earlier, before we even took off to Phoenix, one of our members sent us a Google Doc, and I helped contribute to that doc, where we had a bunch of application slots specifically for SHPE people. So this is one really cool thing about the conference, is companies really push for their diversity, and they always create special links just for people attending conferences such as SHPE or other conferences such as
the NSBE one.
Yeah,
and
the
Grace
NSBE,
Hopper.
SWE, they all have their own application links, and so they obviously want to hire people in SHPE. And so I took advantage of those applications, and I was fortunate enough to secure 4 interviews
Nice.
before walking in there, and then I was able to get one more, which was really fun. All of them with aerospace companies, so Boeing, Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, and Raytheon. So it was really fortunate. I was like, heck yes, all the hard work paid off. And we go to the conference, and it's kind of intimidating. I mean, especially like you were saying, there's 9,000 attendees. You walk into this massive hall, which essentially is like it's a huge convention center hall, and it's just filled with rows on rows of just interview booths. And these small little like 10 by 10 little booths, but there's over 3,000 of these booths just all spread out throughout this hall. And so I walk in and I check in, and I'm like, hi, I'm kind of lost. I see a lot of company signs.
Interview.
Hello, I have interview, and I need to get to my spot, or else I will be late, and that will not look good.
Right.
And so fortunately, one of the security people like guided me, like, okay, this is what you're looking for. And I was like, thank you, sir. You did me a great service today.
Yeah.
And so checked in, and this is like one of the coolest things. Interviews tend to last like 30, 40 minutes, and that was what mine was slotted for, like a 45-minute one. This is for Boeing. And we lasted about an hour and 25 minutes. And I thought that was, number one, kind of scary, because you're like, okay, that's either a really good thing, or I didn't get my point across quick enough. And so they're like really trying to like keep me there to really push me to like spill the beans.
Spill the beans.
Spill the beans. Like, what are you about, Patrick? But no, it was really cool. They really loved talking to me about my research. And specifically because the job position was for a test engineering position in Seattle, Washington, working with Boeing as a ground operations engineer to essentially check out these commercial aircraft and make sure they're suitable for flight. Essentially kind of like a quality control, but also like working on like any aircraft like maintenance before it goes out. and actually helping them conduct like tests. From what they've told me in the job description so far.
Yeah, so from what I've been told.
From what I've been told, but it was a really fun interview. But going back to the SHPE conference as a whole, like I said, I did focus on like professional things, and I think it was definitely the best opportunity for anyone who has the chance to go to this conference, because number one, I learned so many things within my first 24 hours there at these professional development workshops. One of which is actually kind of cool. I took an etiquette workshop, and they taught me like the most meticulous things you would probably never think of, but it's actually on like in a recruiter's mind at
like
all times.
What?
Like if you have they give you a little what do you call it? I can't forget the
Lanyards?
your lanyard with the name tag, right? And it always sags all the way down to like maybe like your thighs.
Yeah.
But they're like, oh, you should tie it in a knot so it comes up to like your chest level. So when you shake someone's hand with your right hand, they see your name like right on your chest, and not having to look down and just look weird. They're looking down like at your thigh.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, your name is Patrick. I already know.
That's okay. I didn't even think about
And
that.
it's like
That's crazy.
It's like, wait, I've never thought of this,
Mind blown.
but it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, that works out.
Yeah.
And it was just an incredible experience. I know everyone else I talked to too had a great time, because again, this is like a huge like diversity conference. Everyone there, unlike other career fairs we may attend, like they really want to like help you out. They really want to give you an opportunity to work with them. And I've never seen such like a positive environment that's really pushing for you to like pursue your career, engineering. And I know a lot of people that went. I mean, there were 60 of us there. Like they could all attest that like
full force, maybe. Yeah.
SHPE USC full force, ready to collect some jobs.
Collect our jobs. Yeah, like that's another thing that I think I really appreciate out of conferences like SHPE National and NSB and Grace Hopper and stuff like that. Like the people who usually go to these conferences usually tend to have like share similar backgrounds to a lot of us that are there, and it's just like people who came out of SHPE, you know, professionals who were in SHPE, and you know, like they like honestly just want to help you. Like last year I had an interview that didn't go so hot with Qualcomm, but even then, like the guy who was interviewing me was like, hey, can I just like give you tips, like let's talk about like what might have gone wrong, and then so it was like you could tell that he really cared, like more so than just like trying to fill a position or anything like that. So that those kind of experiences like I really value, and I think it's something that kind of unique to conferences like SHPE National and stuff like that.
Most definitely. I mean, just alone, like I went Thursday night to a dinner with Northrop Grumman, and I wanted to help one of my friends because they're looking for jobs too. I mean, we're all there for like the same thing in the end, and I was able to find one of our professional chapter members who works with Northrop, and I asked him, do you mind helping me find some where this person could fit in best? And he's like, oh yeah, of course, just bring her over here. And I took her over to go talk with him real quick. And he's like, oh, why don't you go talk to this guy? And then she went to go talk to her. She got to network with him for a little bit and got his card, and she's like, well, it went pretty well. And I'm like, that's all you can ask for, right?
Yeah.
She got another networking connection, and then fortunately she was able to get an interview later that time with a different company, but just because she's just talking to different people. And that's why, like we were saying, it's just a very positive environment.
It's just all the connections, all the cards.
Exactly, all the business cards.
Yeah, all the business cards. Like even you'll find familiar faces at conferences like this. Like my old JPL manager was at SHPE National, and I literally stood in line just to chat with him, just to talk. Just
I waited 20 minutes just to talk to you.
I know,
you're great.
Right? And everyone just comes out in full force, and it's really cool. Yeah, I'm really, really happy that we both had the opportunity to experience this conference once again. Hopefully, fingers crossed for next year that I'll also be able to attend. Colorado.
Oh yes, that'll be
a colder one,
chilly one.
Burlington Coat Factory.
That's right. We'll make a SHPE Burlington Coat Factory trip.
Yeah, SHPE USC Storms Burlington Coat Factory.
Correct.
SHPE National.
Check us out on Instagram.
Like my Facebook event. Yeah. So I guess any parting words, like just final takeaways that you got from the conference, like if there was just one lesson that you can really isolate from this conference, like what do you think that it would be?
What I would well, I guess one of the things I did learn, just like on a personal note, anyone who's willing to attend these conferences in the future, always be very attentive. Look for what companies are going to attend, and go on their website and just search the name of the conference in their like little job search window, and more likely than not, you'll find job links around a month or two before the conference that'll be specifically a link to apply. And just go ahead and apply to those, because more often than not, your best chance at securing an interview is actually not when you're at the conference. This is what I've heard from professionals too, is if you apply to those links beforehand, because like I said, I was able to get 4 interviews just from applying online for those specific SHPE links. And that's huge. It makes my life easier, because then I don't have to wait in a 2-hour line to go talk to a company, and it makes the conference more enjoyable for me, because then I can go to other events like you were saying, like tech talks and stuff too. So definitely be very ambitious, and just look up these links as soon as you can, as soon as you find out you're going, and once you find out the companies, and I think you have a very successful time.
Yeah. Just be diligent. Do your homework.
Exactly. Do your homework beforehand. Key.
Yeah.
Key. It's
People
not just school.
want to know that you're going there. Like, it just makes companies' jobs way easier too, to schedule interviews beforehand. So, yeah, do homework.
Exactly. One more way to stand out to them. Just apply early.
Yeah. Solid. Okay, cool. Thank you so much, Patrick, for sharing your little insight to what you gained from the SHPE National Conference. And it's definitely a different side of it that we got from like the graduate and the research side, and now we've got our professional. So we've got this whole giant conference, a little bit of everything for everyone.
You don't even have to go to the conference anymore. Just listen to these
just
podcasts,
listen to this
and
podcast,
you'll be good to go.
You're basically there. Like, don't even go. Yeah, so thank you.
Thank you so much.
And then have a really good winter break, because we're done.
We're done. Woohoo!
All right. Bye, Patrick.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode on the SHPE National Convention. I hope you guys all got a good look at what professional and academic and personal opportunities there are at a national convention like SHPE. Make sure to smash that like button and go ahead and give us a follow on SoundCloud or Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you're listening to this thing to. Thanks.
And one last note, the deadline to apply to the USC Viterbi School of Engineering is coming up on January 15th. So if you haven't gotten your application in yet, get it in. Thanks, everyone.